Good morning, students. How are you all? I hope you are keeping well. A hearty welcome to today's English class. We have been learning the second lesson, the sound of music from Beehive. The part 2, Shenai of Bismillah Khan. In the last class, we have learned that Hungi was banned in the court of Emperor Aurangzeb because of his shrill and unpleasant sound. Later on, a barber improved the tonal quality of this Hungi and made a new musical instrument named Shenai. As it had an auspicious sound, they started playing it in the temples, at the royal court and at the North Indian weddings. And traditionally it was a part of the Naubad, the 9 instruments that were played in the royal courts. Bismillah Khan was born on March 21st, 1916 in Bihar to a family of well-known professional musicians. His grandfather, his father all were Shenai players, and at the age of 3 he was taken to his maternal uncle Alibak's, and there he was fascinated by the way his uncle was playing Shenai. Later on he gave training and he started practicing in the temples and also at the bank of river Ganga, and he improvised and invented new ragas. It was the bank of river Ganga that inspired him to invent new ragas and invent and improvise new ragas. So students, take your paragraph number 6 on page number 23. At the age of 14, Bismillah accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference. At the end of his recital, Ustad Fayaz Khan patted the young boy's back and said, "Work hard and you shall make it." So at the age of 14, he accompanied his uncle to the Allahabad Music Conference, and at the end of the recital is the musical performance. At the end of this musical performance, Ustad Fayaz Khan, he is an Indian classical vocalist, so he patted the young boy's back and said, he encouraged him and appreciated him and blessed him, "Work hard and you shall make it." So he told him that if he works hard, he can reach success. With the opening of the All India Radio in Lucknow in 1938 came Bismillah's big break. So in 1938, All India Radio was opened in Lucknow, and it was a great opportunity. Break means chance or opportunity for him to display or show his talent. He soon became an often heard Shenai player on radio. So then onwards he started giving often musical program in All India Radio. When India gained independence on 15th August 1947, Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to greet the nation with his Shenai. So when India became independent on August 15th, 1947, it was Bismillah Khan who was the first one to greet the people of India with his Shenai. He poured his heart out into Rag Kafi from the Red Fort to an audience which included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, who later gave his famous Tryst with Destiny speech. So he poured his heart, he was very happy and he poured his heart out into the Rag Coffee. And from the Red Fort he greeted the audience, the people. The audience included Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, and later on he gave his famous speech Tryst with Destiny. Bismillah Khan has given many memorable performances both in India and abroad. So Bismillah Khan had given many wonderful performance both in India and abroad. His first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, where King Sagar Shah was so taken in by the maestro that he gifted him priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. So his first trip abroad was to Afghanistan, and when after his musical performance, the King Sagar Shah was taken up. He was very much fascinated by his performance and gave him gift priceless Persian carpets. Priceless means very precious and valuable. So Persian carpets and other souvenirs. Souvenirs are things given in memory of a person, place or event. So he was so taken up by his performance and he gave him so many gifts, especially the priceless Persian carpets and other souvenirs. The king of Afghanistan was not the only one to be fascinated with Bismillah's music. Film director Vijay Bhatt was so impressed after hearing Bismillah play at a festival that he named a film after the instrument called Gunj Uti Shenai. So it was not only the king of Afghanistan who was impressed by his performance, even the film director Vijay Bhatt, he was very much impressed by his performance and he named a film after the instrument called Gunj Uti Shenai. The film was a hit and one of Bismillah Khan's compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, turned out to be a nationwide chart buster. So this film that was made by the director Vijay Bhatt, the name of Gunj Uti Shenai, it became a famous movie, and Bismillah's one of his compositions, Dil Ka Khilona Hai Toot Gaya, that also became record breaker. It was his musical performance. It became very famous. Chart buster means a record breaker. Despite this huge success in the celluloid world, Bismillah Khan's ventures in film music were limited to two. Vijay Bhatt's Gunj Uti Shenai and Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture Sanati Appana. So, though it was a great success in the movies, he did not continue. He participated only in two movies, two films which became famous. One was Vijay Bhatt's Gunj Uti Shenai and another one Vikram Srinivas' Kannada venture, Kannada movie Sanati Appana. I just can't come to terms with the artificiality and glamour of the film world, he says with emphasis. Why he was not interested in a film world? Celluloid world means film world. So why he was not interested is that because of his artificiality and glamour, he did not like it. That's why he did not continue to play music in the movies. Awards and recognition came thick and fast. So, in no time he got many awards and he was recognized all over the world. So, thick and fast means quickly and in large quantity. Bismillah Khan became the first Indian to be invited to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. So Bismillah Khan was the first Indian. He was invited to the to perform at the prestigious Lincoln Center Hall in the United States of America. He also took part in the World Exposition in Montreal, in the Cannes Art Festival and in the Osaka Trade Fair. So not only in USA he gave his musical performance, he also gave in Canada in the World Exposition in Montreal. Montreal is in Canada. Then in the Cannes Art Festival, that is in France, and in the Osaka Trade Fair, that is in Japan. So all these foreign countries he gave his musical performance. So well known did he become internationally that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him, Tahar Mosque Utsad Bismillah Khan. He became very famous all over the world that an auditorium in Tehran was named after him. It was named as Tahar Mosque Utsad Bismillah Khan. National awards like the Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan and the Padma Vibhushan were conferred on him. Soon he received many awards like Padma Shri, the Padma Bhushan, the Padma Vibhushan. All these awards were conferred on him. Conferred means given or given. Usually it is used for an award or a degree. In 2001, Utsad Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award, the Bharat Ratna. So, in 2001, Bismillah Khan was awarded India's highest civilian award called the Bharat Ratna. With the coveted award resting on his chest and his eyes glinting with rare happiness, he said, "All I would like to say is teach your children music. This is Hindustan's richest tradition. Even the West is now coming to learn our music." So coveted means much desired. So with the much desired award resting on his, keeping it close to his chest and his sparkling eyes with rare happiness, he said he was so happy, and he told the audience that all I would like to say is teach your children. He asked the audience to teach their children music, and that is Hindustan's or India's richest tradition. Even the West is coming, even the people from abroad, they come to learn music in India. So he asked the people of India to teach their children music. In spite of having travelled all over the world, Khan Sahib, as he is fondly called, is exceedingly fond of Benares and Dhumran, and they remain for him the most wonderful towns of the world. He travelled in abroad to many countries of the world. He toured or travelled. But he was fond of India, our own country. He had a great love for our country, especially for the famous towns of Benares and Dhumran. He was fondly called as Khan Sahib. The people called him Khan Sahib. A student of his once wanted him to head a Shehnai school in the USA, and the student promised to recreate the atmosphere of Benares by replicating the temples there. So, a student of his, one of his students asked him to start a Shehnai school in the USA, but and he was ready to replicate or to reproduce or make an exact copy of Benares in the USA. Okay. Replicate the temples to create the or to build the temples there, just like the Benares. But Kansab asked him if he would be able to transport river Ganga as well. So his answer was whether he would be able to transport the river Ganga. So because it was at the banks of river Ganga that he was inspired by new ragas. So it was very dear to him, or his favorite place, these temples of Benares and the river Ganga. Later he is remembered to have said, that is why whenever I am in a foreign country, I keep yearning to see Hindustan. While in Mumbai, I think of only Benares and the only Holy Ganga, and while in Benares I miss the unique matha of Damran. So later he has said that is whenever I am in a foreign country, whenever he went to a foreign country, he used to keep yearning to see Hindustan, to come back to India, and for him he missed India very badly. While in Mumbai, I think of Benares. When he was in Mumbai, he used to think of Benares and the Holy Ganga. And while in Benares, he used to miss the unique matha of Damran. Damran is in Bihar. Matha is buttermilk. It is a word in Hindi used here. So buttermilk, he was fond of buttermilk of Damran. Next, it is a dialogue taken from the Reader's Digest, October 2005. A dialogue between Shekhar Gupta and Bismillah Khan. Shekhar Gupta: when partition happened, didn't you and your family think of moving to Pakistan? Bismillah Khan: God forbid me leave Benares, never. I went to Pakistan once. I crossed the border just to say I have been to Pakistan. I was there for about an hour. I said namaskar to the Pakistanis and salam alaikum to the Indians. I had a good laugh. So this Shekhar Gupta asked him, when this partition happened, why didn't he move to Pakistan? Then he said, God forbid me leave Benares. He was not, because he was very much attached to Benares. He said he would never leave it. He went only once to Pakistan. He crossed the border and just to say that was to say that he had been to Pakistan. He was there for about an hour. He said namaskar to the Pakistanis and said salam alaikum to the Indians. So he had a good laugh. Ustad Bismillah Khan's life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India, one that effortlessly accepts that a devout Muslim like him can very naturally play the Shanai every morning at the Kashi Vishwanath temple. So Ustad Bismillah Khan, his life is a perfect example of the rich cultural heritage of India. He appreciated and became a part of the rich cultural heritage of India, and one that anyone will accept very easily. Effortlessly means easily, without making an effort. That a devout Muslim, he was a devout Muslim, but he had a great attachment to the Kashi Vishwanath temple and river Ganga. So he used to play every day at the temple of Kashi Vishwanath. Ustad Bismillah Khan passed away on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90 after a prolonged illness. So Bismillah Khan died on 21st August 2006 at the age of 90. He was given a state funeral and the government of India declared one day of national mourning. So when he died, he was given a state funeral because he was very famous and part of Indian culture and heritage. And the government of India declared one day of national mourning. With this, students, we come to the end of this chapter. So read the lesson, write down the meanings and write down the question answers. So thank you, students. Have a nice day.